One of the more divisive topics in the NBA centered around statistics is the plus-minus category. Those unfamiliar, plus-minus is simply the point differential on the scoreboard while a specific player is actively on the court. There are some who assess this with the utmost importance, suggesting it best explains how functional or dysfunctional a team is when a particular player is on or off the court. Others, meanwhile, say it's unfair to point a finger, good or bad, at one player because in some cases a team can thrive or struggle despite disproportional player impact. So in other words, if there's even just one player on the court playing out of their mind, that could theoretically make up for the other four playing below their standards. Regardless of what side of the fence you're on, and obviously many are neutral on this discussion, the Orlando Magic player that had the team's best plus-minus last season was Jalen Suggs. The Magic outscored their opponents by a team-best 181 points when he was on the floor. Desmond Bane came in second at plus 135, and Tristan da Silva third at plus 103. When Suggs was on the court, opponents shot just 46.7% from the field overall and 34.4% from three-point range. When he was off, they shot 48.1% overall and 35.9% from beyond the arc. On offense, Orlando shot 47.6% overall and 34.8% from three with him on, and 45.6% and 34% even with him off. Sticking first with offense, Suggs was in a general sense inconsistent with his shooting, but what we did see was progress in a few categories, one being his floater. He's developed a really nice touch on his floater. He shot 55.1% on them last season, a 15% improvement from the prior year. Among the 128 players who took at least 40 floaters in 2025-26, that 55.1% mark ranked 19th best. Ironically enough, his former college teammate at Gonzaga, Andrew Nembhard, ranked number 1 in this category. Suggs has also gotten way better as a facilitator. Let's not forget that he was a star quarterback in high school, so passing is something that is in his nature. He averaged a career-high 5.5 assists last season, up significantly from 3.7 the prior year. A big reason for the increase in assists was the fact that Suggs excels as a transition playmaker. His teammates shot 62.9% on 143 shot attempts in transition when Suggs delivered the pass. Among the 67 players who dished out at least 100 passes for shots in transition, that mark ranked 10th best. One of the most memorable assists in transition last season for Suggs was this one in the final seconds to Wendell Carter Jr. on March 5th that lifted Orlando to the win over Dallas. Jalen shot it well in clutch situations last season. He went 9 of 17 from the field in the final 3 minutes of regulation or overtime with the score differential within 5. Among the most significant ones were this game-tying three-pointer with just over 2 minutes left against the Jazz on February 7th. In the Dallas game mentioned before, he made a three-pointer with 32 seconds left that pulled the Magic within 1. Against the Wizards on March 12th, he buried a go-ahead triple with 1:27 left in overtime. And here against the Kings on March 26th, he buried a game-sealing three with 27 seconds remaining. The biggest weakness for the Magic as a team was off-the-dribble perimeter shooting. They shot just 29.6% on off-the-dribble threes. Suggs shot just 25.2%. Both he and Paolo Banchero ranked in the bottom 10 in this area. In general, Suggs shot 33.9% from three-point distance. The hope continues to be that he can get back to somewhere closer to the mark he had in 2023-24, which was 39.7%, and that's especially the case if he's playing off the ball, serving as more of a stationary shooter. Suggs, of course, is best known for his defense. There are very few players who are better applying pressure on ball handlers than him. The energy and passion he plays with is contagious, and his combination of instincts, anticipation, and intensity help him come up with a lot of deflections and steals. Last year, he averaged 1.8 steals, 6th most among players who appeared in at least 50 games, and 3.4 deflections, 13th most among players with 50-plus game appearances. There were a few standout players that struggled with Suggs contesting last year. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for example, went 2 for 7 with Suggs guarding, and De'Aaron Fox went 2 for 11. One of the Magic's defensive deficiencies last season was fouling opponents in the act of shooting. They committed the 7th most shooting fouls per 100 possessions. Suggs committed 71 of the team's 434 shooting fouls. Across 57 regular season games, Jalen averaged 13.8 points, 3.9 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.8 steals, and 0.7 blocks. His best scoring game last season came on March 12th against the Wizards, when he had 28 points. He also recorded his first triple-double of his NBA career on February 5th against Brooklyn, with 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. In the recent Paolo video I did, I mentioned how Banchero often plays his best games on the road. It's the opposite for Suggs. He tends to play his best at Kia Center. Last year, he shot 47.4% from the field and 36.9% from three-point range at home, and 38.5% overall, and 29.9% from 3 on the road. So that'll wrap up this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe.